of South Carolina. My son, you guys, think about this. This is me now. I'm just talking for David Robinson. My son that I love. I've been a single parent. I know everything. I know how my son thinks. Right. I could be wrong. Everybody's, we grow up and don't get me wrong. We do things opposite what we did when we was kids. Sometimes, end up coming who you are. I'm sure, sound bad analogy, but I don't think Jeffrey Donald's mother taught him to eat people or something. But people become who they are, right? So I can get that part too. But what I'm saying is, you kind of have a good indication of better than law enforcement would when it comes to your loved one. So I'm just not the kind of man that would sit back in South Carolina and call law enforcement about my son I love now, and they said he went missing. Nobody heard it from him, but we ain't gonna go look for him. Hey, he's a grown man, can disappear as he want to, right? And I was supposed to be crying on the phone or something, or crying every day of my life. And I call up in Arizona, living here in South Carolina, call in Arizona every day. Hey, Detective Biffin, you hear anything yet? And he's sitting back out here, he probably on the phone like this. Oh no, I'm out here looking right now. No, we ain't got nothing going on. We working hard. I don't know what they're doing. That's my mind would tell me. They sitting back and tell you anything, right? Just to make you feel good. But they don't have no real intentions to look. He's a grown man. Disappear if you want to, type deal, in their mind. So I'm just not a man to sit back and not put action to finding my loved one. I find a lot of people I ran to. We have a young lady named Katrina, for instance. She fight for her sister named Kaya, right? And just like you guys saw, Miss Nunez with her daughter Jessica with her daughter Alicia at the time, or Jelani Day's mother Carmen Day. They was putting action to their search for their child or their loved one. And I'm like that too. I cannot be on the phone relying on somebody to look for my loved one. I have to be actively working with. I told you again, my whole idea when I was getting, even though despite I have I didn't say these people want to look for my son, but my mind was I was gonna get in Arizona and I was gonna be walking hand in hand with law enforcement, and we gonna find my son. Beyond which I believed in my mind, I was gonna find Daniel within hours, if that. When I hit that Phoenix ground, I got in Phoenix, but it didn't work that way, you guys. I'm still looking for him, and it's painful. But I want to go back to what another part of this, you guys, and I've been talking longer than I did. I said I was gonna be on for 30 minutes. I told someone it's an hour 30 minutes. I'm a long-winded person. Um, but you guys, it's no secret. You guys know I'm running for Congress now, U.S. Congress, and for the House of Representatives. And those reasons came from a lot of things, and I talked to you guys about this before. Those reasons came from just everything I've been through. As when I say me, I'm my whole family, but I'm saying me specifically because I've been on the ground doing these things, right? And when you're on the ground doing things and you work with families, you putting events together with team, and you got a desert team and people that's working hard and doing things. So, make a long story, you learn a lot. You learn a lot from people. You learn a lot about things that's going on. You have meetings and under this crisis that was going on for my son and for my family, trying to get answers. I have my family. I smile. I smile a lot about something. I smile through my pain a lot. So you guys see me smile. Sometimes it's pain, and I hear my family come to me. Sometimes they don't know. They don't understand. I get it, and I'm saying my family, my side of the family, will say, David, you ain't got no answers now. You should have answers by now. What happened to your son? What's going on? You ain't found answers yet? And you know how hard that is to hear that, you guys? Because I feel like somehow I'm failing at it, right? Because in my mind, I would have found my son day one I got on the ground, right? And it's hard. But I'll tell you what, you guys, if a lot of this stuff didn't happen the way it did, it hadn't been almost 3 years, I wouldn't be running for Congress right now, you know? And I wouldn't have been put in a position where I have to want to be a champion for other missing persons out there and their families, because it's hard for me to constantly watch people in pain, and they feel the same way I do. If you guys only know half of the pain that I have inside my body that I hold back all the time, right? And the failure it feels like when you can't get those answers yet, right? So and then you get these roadblocks from law enforcement, the people that you say you trust. And And then at the same time, the coverage is the news media coverage is the this, and and I've been fortunate, you guys, and I felt kind of offended. I've been I felt offended for a while. The Petito family, they're friends of mine. I felt some offended in certain areas. At first, I didn't, you guys. When I first heard of the Petito story, for instance, people kept coming to me about it. This batch, I'm so focused on getting Daniel's story out there in this in the public's eye, and they was tapping me on the shoulder, pretty much, not literally, but people tapping on the shoulder on social media to my family and telling me about the story about this young lady. Heard the story. Of course, the first thing I felt was pain for this family because the girl, I think she was like 20 something years old, early 20s, same age, around age Daniel, about 22, 24, somewhere around this age. And I said, here it is, another child going missing. But then it's something about the coverage is that part is what I felt a family should get, is the kind of coverage that they deserve. But at the same time, it took me 3 months to get there, right? It took me a length of time to get there, you guys. And what got me was, I'm saying, the painful part came from that the story was contributed. It says Daniel Robinson's story made it here because of the Petito story. And that was the offensive part for me, because nobody was there when I wasn't getting no sleep. I was still conducting desert searches. I was talking to people, telling them thank you every night. I mean, I literally, when I say I literally didn't sleep, I literally couldn't sleep. I was so busy that I was surprised I made it mentally, you guys, because I didn't sleep. I had to stay up and constantly push and push and push on social media, put in all the work, and then the contribution goes to because of something happened to someone else. That Daniel's story made it. No, and I say this because you guys need to hear this, and this is what I feel. It made it because I've been persistent and pushing Daniel's story to a point on social media that this one tweet came out, and I'll never forget it. There's a young lady um, retweeted something I put up on Twitter, and she says, "Have anybody even took a thought of something to the effects of looking at the story of this young man?" And I didn't know it as at the time when the Tita story was breaking. I guess I didn't know at the time, and so it went viral. Her tweet went viral. Then also I was hitting up, and I'm telling you, some of the families that they can do this as well. I was hitting up celebrities every night, hitting them up hard. When I see hitting them up, I wasn't hitting up them. I was hitting up their family members and their friends. And the way you do this for families who are trying to do so, what you do is you don't look for the blue little star on the thing. You look for the ones that don't have it, because the ones that don't have it and have a little bit of followers and things, that's the family members. They following them. That's who you hit up, and it worked because Joy Reid from NSNBC um, heard through her friend that I was hitting up about Daniel's story, and she went on there and started talking about white woman syndrome or whatever thing called, and it made an uproar or whatever to some people, right? But it's statistically true, and and that gave Daniel's case a push, because then I was able to come on that show and talk about it, right? And so it started moving on from that point. To make a long story, you guys, but it took a lot of work. It took a lot of hard work, and it's kind of hard when you have to push the media, you had to work your website, you had to work searches, you had to create these flyers. I laugh at these flyers. It's crazy, you guys. I had these flyers about the sheet of this paper right here, about the size of paper, laminated. I just go get them laminated and did the best I can with them, and get them out to these hospitals and stuff, and thinking people gonna somehow keep these big piece of paper in their hands and walk around and say, "Hey, you haven't seen this guy?" That type deal. But that's why I came up with the flyers and design smaller. That took over time, you guys, to come up with something small that can fit in somebody's pocket and pocketbook and things and carry it around with them. But the thing is, but it grew from that point. It grew from that point, and it came from no love for my son. I have never organized a thing in my life. Was able to do that. Organize a grassroots search, put team together. Had a desert team out there. Had a team outside the desert. Volunteers, hundreds of volunteers every week, going out this grassroots movement. We are extended family. Everybody who came to search know what we are. We are family, and everybody who's on the social media list to me right now, we are family. And I call it a grassroots, and it is a grassroots because it wasn't no help from law enforcement, not a dime from law enforcement, not a dime for anybody, but you guys was donating, keeping all that stuff going in the desert, all that equipment, all the time, all that stuff, right? Flyers, billboards, you name it, you guys. And I really appreciate each and every last one of you. And also, like I said, because I had to go through all of that and learn all these lessons through all this pain and over time, you know what I'm saying? I started learning a lot. I've been put in the right places at the right time. Like I said, these meetings, talking to senators, state senators, and Congress people, and this and that, all kind of stuff, guys. And I learned a lot. So it's like I was becoming educated into some things that I didn't know about, you know. And so now that I know some things, now I see the problems, and I'm looking forward to work on those solutions. That's the reason why I'm running for Congress, you guys. I'm running for to get some. These are Americans. Everybody who Daniel's an American scientist. I call him America's son because again, what happened to my family and the way it happened to somebody right now with some law enforcement agency. The pain that the family's going through, etc. All that is happening to somebody right now. And you best believe they need what families do need from you guys that's listening to me is you to share their story. Something simple as that can mean a lot to a family because they can't be heard. Nobody would not hear about their stories. Nobody's not gonna go look for their loved ones. I mean, all that kind of stuff goes on. I'm telling you guys. So we got the indigenous folks. I've been fortunate to have one of the indigenous Americans on my board for the Daniel Robinson Foundation, one of my boards, and to give me information about the indigenous women and children that's going missing at an alarming rate as well. We don't hear about that. We don't hear about statistics of Black people going missing in this country and the rate they are going. And we're only what 13% of the population, but we make 40% of all the missing cases. You know, and you know, so you kind of look at some of these things and that happen in the country, and you can't when you listen to these women and crying over their children, and you know, this I mean, this everything in totality, you guys. You cannot ignore the fact, especially when God put you in a place where you can make some kind of change and make some kind of action or do something, and you don't do it. The second part is, you guys, I'm from South Carolina, so you guys will hear a lot about that as well. But it has a lot to do with the missing person element of things that I'm running for. But I'm running for some other things again. I have a person who's more concerned about one person making it to office than his own constituents, right? You know, so those are things I'll be talking about as well. So that'll be something outside of the missing person realm because there's a lot of things going on with that part too that I care about. I'm from South Carolina. I lived in my district, born and raised in my district, and just District 6 and 2 is the districts. And so I know a lot about these districts, but the missing person element, you guys, is what pushed me to where I'm at because I need to get those things changed with the private policies and all this kind of stuff that delayed. I couldn't even get, you know, you guys, one thing for sure, you ever heard the old saying um, that nothing ever disappears, really goes away. When you put it on social media or electronically, it never really go away. Yeah, but yeah, just remember that. That's all I can say. And but it's a delay for families who need it, who need it. Had I had some things that I'm working or will be working on, um, you know, had some of those things been in place now that I know could and should, you know, this whole cell phone ping problem that we have to this date for Daniel, it'd be non-existent. We didn't have no problems. So the thing is, you guys, that's what I'll be fighting for. I'll be fighting for missing loved ones, people who going through the same thing my family's going through, the same pains that I would go through. And the father who would be doing the same thing I'm doing. I know I've seen these mothers, man, but you know, fathers who would be doing the same thing I'm doing, and I really believe good fathers do that. Is to you know, you got to do whatever and for your family, man. That's just I've been taught that way. You know, I come from a single family, single parent home. My mother, she taught me all the good things. I say it like that. Put me in the right places, and you know, hey, you work if you want anything, you got to work for it. That's how she said. You got to put work with your hand. You don't just take it. You can work for it. And you know, so I'm working for it, you guys, and I need your support. So I'm here. It's not that saying this all campaign thing, but I need your help, you guys. To please go and find how to help. David Robinson for Congress.com. David Robinson for Congress.com. I really, guys, I need you guys' support. I need funding. When I say fund, I have a person I'll be running up against, and I need a lot. I can't tell you that. Person held a seat for many years. You know, a person will look at us. When I say us, I look at this grassroots movement as a movement that ain't gonna do nothing, right? I don't believe that because I see the division that come from this one area. Like I said, in my state, more concerned about one person and the division that's going on in Congress and everywhere. I mean, it's terrible. You guys know what's going on in this country. I didn't see that out in the desert. I did not see it in the desert. And God had his way of making things happen the way it did. I'm telling you guys, this is all my family, my extended family. I say anybody's my family who would take their own gas money, come out there to go look for a stranger in 118-degree weather. I've called them family. You know what I'm saying? You know, Daniel's a stranger. I mean, I get it. They put up. It showed me how many good people are out here in this country, you guys, and nobody care about your race. Nobody care about your religion. Nobody care about nothing. Or whatever about you. Nobody care. I saw this same thing I felt when I was in Afghanistan with my battle buddies out there. They had my six and I had their 12 and, et cetera, guys. We had each other. We had each other and we all Americans. And that's what I saw. And I still see it with this whole grassroots movement. I like to call it a grassroots movement because it's real people like me, real people like you that actually come from a cause that could show everybody in this country what we forgot about, what really matters the most. At the end of the day, we're all Americans. And when we actually put that little crazy stuff we hear from some politicians, we put that, I call them career politicians. And I'll say about the career thing, I feel about that. But career politicians, we hear all this crazy stuff just to hold on power or whatever case may be, right? But career politicians are people who, and that's why I believe in term limits, but career politicians are people who take their kids through college and it's a regular job. So being when it comes to their constituents and people that they should care about, that I mean that's just I say like this: if I was to be a magician, let's say I want to be a magician, I want to trick people to believe that I could pull a rabbit out of a hat. When I first show it to you guys tonight, you say, "Man, look at that! I see what that guy did. He's not good. I can see what he did. He ain't pull that rabbit out. He pull out some little out his pocket in his jacket or something. I don't know, right?" But if you've been there for a long time, just doing it over and over again, you're not a con people. You con them and believe them, have them seeing and believe what you want them to see and believe. And that's what I see what happening to me. And we need honest people who's going to actually get the job done and worry about what people try to find a way to cause us to really come back together and stop having all this division in this country. I don't like it. I've been on. I know you guys don't like it either, but it's stupid to me. But that's another thing. I wanted to talk about that just tonight, but more so, I just wanted to put this on the back end of my live here because I'll be jumping off in a minute. But I am running for Congress, guys, and I definitely need you guys' support. Trying to make sure I put my campaign together the correct way. I need funding to do that, you guys. I need funding. You guys, I've seen it. You guys helped me when I was in that desert. I've seen it. I've seen it before, and I need it again. So if you guys can help me out with that. I truly appreciate that. I really need it so I can be competitive. We can make it. And when I say we, I want to take this whole grassroots movement. I want to take this whole missing Americans. We're gonna have to correct that wording too. It's not missing person cases, guys. It's missing American cases because we are Americans that's going missing on an alarming rate. It's like an opioid crisis. It's a crisis, and we need to address it in this country and for what it really is. Again, it pisses me off when I've been almost died in Afghanistan to defend our constitution, our way of life. And, we got missing people here in the United States, but they go to Pakistan again. I use that a lot and go find Osama bin Laden, right? You find who you want to find, right? Again, you treat a case the way you want to treat it. If they would look at Daniel's case the same way they look at law enforcement, Daniel would have been found a long time ago. So it depends. People do what they want to do, and we got to do some things to make sure that people actually get in the fair shake that they should. Close the disparity gaps that we see in this country as well when it comes to missing person cases. It's bad, you guys. It's bad when you look at statistics on everything. Statistics don't lie. So you got the statistics there, and everything is horrible. So we got to fix it. And I'm really willing to do it. You guys are really take those risks and those chances to work on that. If you guys give me that fair shake, I really appreciate it because I'm really gonna try my best. And I hope you guys can get me there. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I wish I could talk to a lot of you in the comment section. I see like 507 comments, and that's really beautiful. I really appreciate you guys. Um, Sign that petition. Thank you, Team Wildflower, for putting that up. Sign that petition, you guys. Put your voice to that petition. Go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and put your voice to the petition. That really helps, you guys, because I need that petition. That's you guys backing me as well. Like I said, to go further, taking this grassroots movement further, please, you guys, support me. I am running for Congress. The David Robinson for Congress.com, davidrobinsonforcongress.com. You guys can see how you can help, join the campaign, etc. Thanks so much, you guys. I guess I'll see you guys on the next live, whenever that is. So I'll be pushing that sometime this week, you guys, and I hope I get to see you back again. Again, I'll leave with this every time, and know that sound redundant, but please, guys, if you got any beef with your loved ones, let it go if you can. But if you can't let it go because that's serious to you, then at least tell that person that you love them. Say, hey, look, I love you, but I ain't gonna talk to you, right? Can't talk to you, whatever. I need some break from you, whatever. But you just need to know I love you, because time could come, God forbid, if it happen to you, and I'm praying it don't, that you may have to reduce your loved one down to old voicemails, old videos, and that's what I had to do for Daniel. Last time I was able to talk to my son on the phone and tell him I love him myself, and he know this, is 2 days before he went missing. The last time I could say, Daniel, I love you, and love you, son. That's how I would say it, and that's the last time I was able to say it to him, and that's hurtful, guys. It's hurtful when you realize that, and you look at it and say, man, it's gone almost 3 years since you tell your own child, he's a grown man, he's a child of me, that you love him, and you want that person to know that. So the thing is, thank you guys for listening in. Hope you have a wonderful night, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, be blessed. I wish I could have given the comments in the session, guys. I'm sorry, time going past me, but God bless you guys. Take care of yourself. Talk to you next time.